Hello, you wonderful people. So more recently, Philip DeFranco, well, first it was a tweet, but then he ended up talking about it in a video, but it was basically the question of, why do you do what you do? And I decided, why not make a video out of it kind of responding to that. And it's something I've touched on in the past as to why I do these videos and the things I do. Like, you take my other channel, I do vocal covers and stuff like that because I'm not very confident in my own, like, whether it's screaming or singing, but I do it out there to kind of show what I'm capable of and to kind of, honestly get feedback on what I should work on, whether this is good, whether it sounds, how like other people interpret whether it sounds good to them or not, because I would like to make music. Like, that's kind of been like a long-standing dream of mine. I've talked about it before, and that's because I want to be able to do it and not, look back on life and regret it. Whether or not I become successful or not with it, whether it's just like one-hit wonder or something like that, or whether I have a long career in music or not, I just don't want to end up growing up and getting my later years and regrets like, oh, I should have taken those opportunities when I was younger. I still don't take the opportunities like I should now, but I'm still striving for it. But like I said, I need to be more willing to take the opportunities that are presented before me, but I tend to not do that. So that's in that regard. But especially on this channel, I've talked very heavily about it before, and the main reason why I've ever done videos on this channel, for the very big reason why I created the channel in the first place, is to open up a little bit more about myself. I've talked about the fact is I'm not very good at opening up to people in general, no matter who they are, whether it's family, friends, whoever. It's not something easy for me. Communicating with people is not a very easy thing for me. Like, this is an exception because it's like not me really talking to anybody. I'm talking to a camera and someone might randomly happen to watch this video, but other than that, it's just me talking to myself. So it's a lot more, it's easier for me to kind of just like let loose, without kind of get that nervous butterfly feeling in my stomach anytime I'm around people. It's just because I just get super nervous. That was one of the main reasons, is just to have an outlet where I could just talk, and work on my social skills to a certain extent, to be a little more open and a little less reserved like I normally am. And along those lines also, it's also because I wanted an outlet for the nerdy things that I like a place to talk about the TV shows and animes that I like, because that's not something I share with a lot of people. I could probably count on one hand the number of people throughout my entire life I've ever been able to talk to about that. There's a handful of people from high school, even amongst my own family. I have a cousin who's like really into anime and video games, so like she's kind of the nerdier side of my family, and she's like the only person I really kind of communicate with about that. I mean, she's actually kind of one of the reasons why I'm as nerdy as I am is because of her. She got me into a lot of the video games I'm into, like Final Fantasy, or like the animes that I'm into, like Death Note, for example. She recommended that to me, and I ended up loving the series. But then I decided, like take YouTube as a way of like spreading that out more, because it's like, yeah, I wanted to do music and everything too, but I also want an outlet to talk about those things that I like. And for a long time, these have been the only reasons, but as time is going on, I've kind of acquired a new reason. It's something that I've kind of kept in the back of my mind. I've never really vocally said it, but it's also for you, anyone that watches this video, whether it's someone who watches this video 5 minutes after it's uploaded, 3 months after it's uploaded, or like 5 years from now if YouTube hasn't imploded on itself or something like that. I hope not, but you never know with this type of thing. So I don't think my videos are anything special. I will bluntly tell you that they're nothing special. They're just me opening up, telling you the way I view things, sharing some stories, and as I mentioned, talk about the things that I like. I want to be able to give that to people, like as some form of entertainment, even if it's something that just makes you think a little bit. What I mean is, like, you don't have to view things exactly the same way I do. Maybe you'd be like, oh, Michael views things this way, and I somewhat view them this way, but this is more my perspective on it. We have similar thought process on certain things, but we skew on our perspectives on it because we have different outlooks on them. Or it's, whether it's like I tell a story that, you learn from. It's like, because a lot of these stories I tell are usually like my own mistakes sometimes, and it's just like, oh, so you don't have to experience that mistake yourself per se, and maybe you learn a little bit of a life lesson out of it or something, or it's like the do's and don'ts in life or something like that. Or even if it's something as simple as giving you a little smirk, you know, even if I can make you go, ha, just like a little laugh or chuckle, then that's enough in itself. Just, I want to be able to entertain someone. Like, you know, life in itself is very serious. Like, we can all account to that. There's a lot of, you know, where there's good in life, there's also a lot of bad, and it seems like a lot of times in life the bad outweighs the good, and it just can seem like life is very depressing sometimes. So I want an outlet for other people to be like, hey, let me watch these videos just to kind of turn my brain off for a little while. I'm not saying to be ignorant to what's going on in the world. You need to be informed, but sometimes life can be a little stressful, you know, things in the world can be a little hectic, and it's just like you need time away from everything. Just something to watch to turn your brain off. You don't have to think too much about it. Just kind of sit back. And like I said, whether or not you laugh, you know, or whether you know, you like what I do, you hate it, whatever the case may be, all I hope is that even if, you know, you hate what I do, at the very least you can walk away from it at least being like, well, it gave me something to kind of think about, or maybe it gave me time to really kind of de-stress, kind of like blow off steam, just, you know, waste a little time until, you know, give me something to like have on in the background while I clear my head or something like that. And then, like, you know, on the nerdy side is also because I want to have something where it's like I can share with you guys. Like, the greatest example to me is like I did a nerd mode video where I talked about kind of introducing the movie Odd Thomas, and I had someone respond to me and be like, yo, I watched the movie Odd Thomas because you like talked about it and I loved it. And it's just, to me, that was the most amazing thing ever. That's like why I talk about the things I talk about, because I like them and I want to share that with other people. Like, I want to share some of the things that make me happy, that make me laugh, that make me kind of leave me flabbergasted in some cases, or, you know, entertained. You know, I want to share that excitement with other people as well, and so that's why I do that in that regard. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you it's like, oh, why you should watch my videos and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. All I'm saying is, on the off chance that you come across my videos, whoever might end up watching this video, like I said, no matter at what point in time, I hope that you're able to walk away from it, you know, with something, you know, whether it's, you know, just having been entertained, or, you know, like I said, distressed a little bit. I don't know. That's kind of why I do the things I do. My question is to pass that on to you. Why do you do the things you do? I'm very interested to learn, like, you know, whether it's like, you know, like, oh, you like to play the guitar because you just love like the feel of a guitar in your hands, or you're an artist because you just love colors and you just love putting like pencil to paper or paintbrush to canvas, whatever the case may be. But really, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys, and to anyone that comes across this video. But like always, to the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.